People ask me about the Macintyre documentary. What was the Donald Macintyre like? He was an absolute gentleman. He come to see me. There was a lad called Darren Stewart. I think it was Stewart. Darren Stewart. I think it's not. Was it Darren? Darren the Stewart. That was his name. Yeah. He contacted me because he went out with the girl. She worked for the BBC. She was she did what do you call it? I can't think of the name. She did EastEnders. She was one of the managers on that, and you know they keep changing. But she did that for a while, called the Karen. And then she came up, and it was like a weekend. She was a producer and did all the camera work and all that, and she come with him because it was his project. So anyway, she came up. And anyway, she came to my house, and she was proper posh, lived with a big top of the range cars and all that, and they got a hotel in Yarm. So I followed them through. Anyway, you could tell she was the boss. She was arguing, you could tell they'd been arguing. So anyway, they cooked me house. So she's telling me, I was saying, well, we went out to see my mate Jeff, who has a cafe in Yarm. We walked down there, we were getting video down there off the BBC. So the video, I mean, just them two, not the BBC itself, just they work for them. And the videoed it, go to the shop, talk to Jeff, and then we go to Flaherty's house, talking to him about the debts and stuff. So we're doing it, it was doing good. So anyway, after all that, she started arguing with him. So what happened is she asked me, I said, well, what happens? I said, people come to me because they'd rather come to me than go to the police. If you go to the police and you live on a council estate, people call you grass. But if they go to like the taxman and I go and see them, I'll go and see Tommy and John. He's arguing with that family, they're arguing with that family. You leave him alone and you leave them alone and both live in harmony, everyone's okay. He'll give me a couple £100, he'll give me a couple £100. And that's how I used to do it. And keep the partner fee started. I'd say, I've told you to fucking leave it. How many times have I got to, you have to come down there again? And that would be it. 9 times out of 10 it'd be sorted. You always get the odd idiots. So I used to do it. I was telling her, I said, well, why wouldn't I just phone the police? I've just told you, if you phone the police, then everyone in the council estate, say there's 100 people on the council estate, and you've got a feud with, say, that family and that family. There might be 50 in that family, that 50 people believe that family and 50 believe that family. But if you go to the police and get the police involved, then the whole council estate will turn against you. You call it a snitch, you got your name on the wall to everything. So then you get your windows put through them. It costs more money. So they'd rather come to me because I can sort it out. Nobody's going to start calling trouble, and I've been. Like, I was fucking massive in the day, as you know. I was winning back this. So anyway, I'd sorted it out anyway, the trouble. I was telling her about it, and she was going, well, I can't understand it because I just get the police. Yeah, but where are you from? She was on the Thames, on the fucking river, you know, £5 million fucking house or something she lived in. So, didn't have a clue. So, she's taught me again. And she's like, contradicted me in a way, saying, oh, well, I said, well, there's some places where you can't go. I said, like, places like South Bank, Grangetown's rough, really rough. I said, it's like Belfast in the South Bank area in Grangetown, parts like that are really rough. I said, so anyway, so we goes down, on the way there was some Irish lads arguing. There was like lads near the Bluebell pub on the way there, and they were arguing, and I knew them, and they waved me down because they see my card. So I've jumped out, and I'm with a lad called Irish Jimmy from Hartlepool, lovely lad, who goes over and they're arguing, and they fucking behaved, they were arguing. One was arguing over one thing, and then it was arguing over wages, so we're going to get the wages, so I've stopped there. Fucking behave yourself, shows anyway, they started this little bit of argument. It wasn't planned, just seen them. And then my mates are pulled in at the garage, and anyway, the video was with them, and they said, oh, we don't want to be on the documentary, so they weren't on it, didn't want to be on it, these Irish lads. So we sorted that out, so we go to Grangetown, and we go to South Bank. So I'm in South Bank, and the window's been put through. And it was costing the lad £70 every other day to get the window fixed. And I got it fixed, and I went, I think it's on the documentary, you see it, so I goes and get it. I think it was £50 or £70 every time he was getting it fixed. So I went and seen the people who were doing it, and knocked on the door, and I said, look, fucking stop putting that window through there. I'll have a problem with you. Stopped straight away. So he's paid, I think he'd be £200 for it, same thing. I used to charge him £200, but he's talking like back then, 2004 I think it was. So I've done the job. She went, well, I just phoned the police. So it's in a rough area. Next minute, fucking rockets are coming towards us, fireworks, and the police are pulled up, and they're firing fucking rockets at the police in South Bank. And she's going, oh, she started shitting herself then. I said, now you see what I mean. Oh, it's like being in Belfast, you're right. She said, oh, can we go back? Do you want to go back to mine? So she shit herself because it was a rough area. I said, no, the night time it's even worse when it's dark. Nobody fucking dare come out. I said, so it's rough area. But the people at South Bank are great people because you know them. But you go in there, people from different areas kicking off and things, they're going to come out and have a go with you. So all the young kids are only like 12, 13, they're firing fucking rockets at them. I said, see now, you're not on the Thames now, are you? Anyway, come back anyway, she was being a bit cheeky. So anyway, I didn't realise, so on the way back, she's getting on my fucking nerves there. Forgot about the microphone on me fucking top, didn't I? I said, she fucking tell her where's the fuck, you can tell her where's the trousers there for me. Fucking hair going on like a lunatic. What a fucking narcissistic fucking woman. And she was, and even he split up with her and finished her in the end. The lad who went out with the dad, he said, oh, you're right about her, absolute fucking lunatic. He said, you was clever, you was sussed on straight away. As soon as I come up, you knew we'd been arguing. I could tell by her body language and everything, so she didn't like me. I didn't particularly like her, but she heard everything I fucking said in the car, about her. So I said, oh, well, she was calling me anyway, so tit for tat. But yeah, I was going to put it out with the BBC. She pulled the plug on it in the end. But I was glad because I did it with Donald Macintyre instead. Donald, we did that, the Macintyre documentary. So Darren come with Donald because he'd fell out with her. He'd finished with her and she came up about a year later it was. So they came up, interviewed me and everything. I met them at Darrington train station. My brother took me and we sat in there and we had something to eat. David Malone, that it was called, who was the cameraman. And the other one was, I think, what's he called? I can't remember his name now. He was a cameraman from Australia. They brought him over, a top cameraman. And then there was another, there was a sound man, the light man, there was real, like railway things, what you put the cameras on, and it was fucking all top of the range. It took 3 months to film, and all these daft little ones that I've done with other people, fucking 2 hours or something. Can't do a documentary in that time, not a proper one. So it takes 3 months to film. You need 22 hours of footage to make a 1 hour documentary. What's the BBC using? Channel 4 and Channel 5 and all them. So we did the documentary, and Donald come through my front door, and I was sat on there. Bob Raw was here, my mate from Peterlee, great lads, great friend of mine. He come in, he went, look at the sizing, grabbed my arm, and I talked, look at you, and blah, 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 and having a laugh, and I was sat on there, and he brought his wife, Amira, they called her, and he said, he says, the only one I brought because your manners are impeccable, and the way you talk to people, I wouldn't bring my wife. He said, most of the other ones I've been with, I wouldn't have my wife in that company, because I didn't swear in front of her and things like that. I was very polite to them, and then very polite to the staff who helped us. I was very thankful. And they really got on with us, and Donald still talks to us to this day, still texts me and stuff. So we did the documentary, but when you do a documentary, it takes like 3 to 6 months to sometimes edit it. So it takes longer to edit than it does to make. So we go places and do the video and things like that, and very good laugh. And we went abroad and everything, really good laugh with Donald. He was good, and like I say, he's still a friend now. But when you're working with these people, I always leave the impression on them that they were nice, but couldn't do it with her because she was horrible, his missus, and even he said, Donald and that, you can't work with some people, you just can't work with them, but got on with them really good, did the documentary, and it's been seen by over 4.5 million people. So yeah, just a little update, because people are asking me what was he like. He was good. He actually before I go, he was in the Olympics for Ireland as a canoer. He was actually about, I'd say about 5'10", 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", something like that, and about 15 stone. As you know, I picked him up and strangled him and everything in the thing. He loved it. He absolutely loved it. He said it was the best one out of all the ones he'd done. He said the Taxman was the best one we'd done. And out of all the views, the Taxman, he just had big bright eyes. Have a look on YouTube. I think there's nearly 4 million people, something like that, seen it. Been watched by more than anyone, that one, what they've done, the Macintyre's Underwell. Then I got Bernard O'Mahony to do one. Bernard wanted to do one. He said, I've got to have the Taxman in it. Came here with Brian Anderson. He's a reporter from Glasgow. And they did another one with him. It was Gangsters of the Underworld. I was in that book. There was only 50 top gangsters in Great Britain in it, and I was one of them. I'm next to Tyson Fury in it. He's in one page and I'm on the other page, and I'm stood like my hands in the air, and I was massive. Bob Raw again was with us for that. We went filming that day with Bernard and his missus. I took pictures of it and everything all over. So that was another one I did. So there's loads of documentaries I've done. But to keep these people keep coming from London and Essex and all the other places, coming up from the BBC and everything, wanting to do documentaries, I must have done something in my life to warrant these people to do these documentaries. And for the views that I'm getting, obviously they were right to do the documentaries. So there's loads of the due for the films being done. I told you I'm only in about 4 minutes or something because my injuries were horrific, and I could only do sitting down things and a little bit in a warehouse. But I would have been in about 15-20 minutes if I could do what was more mobile. But I was just grateful just to be in a proper movie. I know it's just a foot in the door, but now he's on about doing the Taxman next year. But this film movie's been finished. The trailer, will be coming out. You'll see them on or whatever, YouTube. I'm going to be putting them on my channel as well, so the footage will be on there. Being done, the documentary, sorry, the movie, and it's out in January sometime, so we're going to be going to the premiere of that, me and Emma and a few people, so it'll be fun watching that. So I hope you don't forget to push the like buttons up. Everyone's safe. God bless you all.